back. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this easy teasy cup cozy. I have two variations. One is a coffee cup size, and then another one is a mug cozy, which you can make smaller or bigger depending on what mug size you have. So today you're going to need some Bernat Maker home decor, about 50 yards, or a comparable t-shirt yarn. 6.5 mm Tunisian crochet hook with a cord and stopper if you have a 12-inch long one, a yarn needle, some scissors, and a measuring tape. So let's get started. This is a fun, easy pattern that just requires the basics of Tunisian crochet. So we're going to start off by doing a slip knot, and we're going to chain 32. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. And as usual, we never work into the first stitch. We're going to turn this over and we're going to work our foundation row. So we're going to work into these back bumps. So I'm going to go in and go under the back bump, like into the back bump, yarn over, pull up a loop, and we're going to just do that across. So go into the back bump, yarn over, pull up a loop, go into the back bump, yarn over, pull up a loop, and I'm just doing that all the way across to start off our foundation row. So once you have all your loops on your hook, this is what it's going to look like. And then if you want, you can count your stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32. So now we are going to work our return pass, which basically means we're going to chain 1. So we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we're just going to continue that all the way across. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that is how we work our return pass. And then we're going to work the honeycomb stitch. So there's always going to be one loop on your hook. You never work into this first stitch. you always work into the next stitch and across. So we're gonna work the honeycomb stitch. I have another tutorial which I'll link to. You can click the I if you want to practice that stitch first. But basically we are gonna do a 2-row repeat to get this stitch, which is a honeycomb stitch, is my favorite stitch. So first we are gonna go into the next vertical bar here and work a Tunisian simple stitch. So you're just going into the vertical bar, yarn over, pick up a loop. And then we're gonna do a purl stitch into the next stitch. So we're gonna bring our yarn to the front, go into the vertical bar, hold down the yarn in front, and then yarn over, pull up a loop, and that's your purl stitch. It literally looks like a purl stitch when you're knitting, if you know how to knit. So then again we're going to repeat TSS, TPS, so simple stitch, purl stitch. So you go into this next vertical bar, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And remember, for the TSS, for the simple stitch, your yarn is in the back. And now when you're working the purl stitch, it's in the front. So we're going to go into the vertical bar, hold down this yarn in the front, yarn over, pull up a loop. So we're just going to go across and do that. Simple, purl, 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 simple, simple, purl. And then when we get to the last stitch, we have to remember to work under both stitches here. We have sort of a V. We go under both of those, and then we yarn over and pull up a loop, and that's how you work the last stitch. And now we're just going to do the return pass again. So remember, yarn over, chain 1, and then we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we just do that all the way across. Alright, so that was our row 2, and then row 3 we are going to start with the purl stitch and then do a TSS and then follow that pattern across. So we're offsetting what we did in the previous row with the purl or a simple stitch. So again, don't work into this first stitch, go into the next one, bring your yarn to the front because you're doing a purl stitch, hold down the yarn and yarn over, pull up a loop, and then simple into the next, purl. And remember, if you forget, just look at the stitch below. So this one is a purl, we want to do a simple stitch in there, yarn over, purl stitch, simple, purl, simple, purl, simple, purl, simple, purl. And then we just work across the same way that we did previously. And then again, we're just doing our normal return pass as we did previously. So chain, now we're doing our return pass, yarn over, chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way. We're just doing that return pass again. So alright, so I did the first repeat, so we're just going to keep repeating for how tall you would like your mug cozy or your cup cozy to be. I think I did another 2 repeats. So we're going to repeat from row 4 to 7. We're just going to repeat rows 2 and 3. And then I'll meet you back for when we have to bind off and then for doing the border. Alright, so I'll see you for the next part. Alright, so I have completed all of the rows, and now what we're going to do is do a bind off, and I'll show you how to do that. And then we're going to do a slip stitch back loop only border. I have a separate tutorial for that border as well. I can link to it when I get to that part. But basically a bind off, I have another tutorial for a bind off as well, but I'll show you quickly here how to do it. So what we're going to do is, again, not working into the first stitch, we're going into the next one, into the next vertical bar, yarn over, and rather than just pulling up the loop, we're going to pull it through the previous stitch and then do the same thing across. And here you want to do it a little loosely so that we can work into these stitches. Keep your tension a little loose so that we can work into those stitches when we have to do the border. So again, basically all you're doing is going into the vertical bar, yarn over, and then pull through the previous loop. Same thing here. Just doing that all the way across. Trying to keep my tension loose. I have a really tight tension, I think, when I'm just working my regular stitches. Alright, we're almost at the end here, so we're going to do that. So we're going to do the same thing, binding off, but again, when you get to that last stitch, remember to work under both loops. And then there you have it. We are at the end of the bind off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find these V's going down this way. And we are just going to do a slip stitch into the back loop only. So you're going to go, so you'll see that this is the front loop and this is the back loop. So we're going into the back loop, yarn over, and then slip stitch. So pull through the stitch that you had before. Again, find, so this is the front loop and this is the back loop here. So we're going to just work into the back loop again, yarn over, pull through the previous. Again, I'm just going to keep doing that across. Again, it's good to keep your tension loose for this, just because it gives a neater edge. All right, I'm going to find that and just, there's a few more here. And if you need to, you can just pull it out a little because they're a little small and hard to see. And then again, oops, yarn over and then pull through. And then we are at the other corner here. And here what we want to do is go into, so here's our next stitch along the next edge. So what we're going to do is, since we're at the corner, we are going to go into the back loop this way, slip stitch, and then we're going to chain one and then go back into that same back loop, yarn over and pull. So that's how we work our edge. And then now we're going to just do the same thing across, find the back loop, yarn over, pull through the previous stitch, and we're just going to do that all the way across. You can start to see this border forming. It looks really beautiful, the texture here. All right, so I'm going to continue that all the way across. Alright, we've reached the edge again, so find that edge stitch. You're going to go into the back loop only, yarn over, slip, chain one, and then go back into that same back loop, yarn over, slip stitch. And then again along this edge, we're just going to do back loop only, slip stitch. So we're just going across. I'm going to do that. If we were working on the cup cozy, instead of doing the slip stitch border along here, on the edge, when we get back to the beginning, we would chain a few stitches to make a loop so that you can close it up with the button. So again, here we have this, and then we got to the corner here again, so we're gonna just back loop only, chain one, and then back loop only into this. And then this is our last edge that we're working. So again, do back loop only, slip stitch all the way across. I'm going a little faster here. We are almost at the end here. So again, we're at this last stitch. We are gonna slip stitch, chain one, slip stitch into it again, and then just slip stitch into this next stitch to close it off. And instead of cutting the yarn, so over here before we cut the yarn, we would have done a little loop for the mug cozy. And also the mug cozy is a few, it's less rows because it's shorter, because the mug obviously is short, and then on the other side you would have your button sewn on, and this is how it would look. I have a written pattern on my blog. You can check out. I have both variations. This you can make wider or like a medium size based on what size your mug is. Anyway, so once we get to the end, we're just gonna take maybe, I don't know, roughly a 12-inch strand. I don't really measure, I do it, I just guesstimate, but I'll measure here. So we want like a 12 to 18 inch, I guess, of yarn remaining. So we have enough to sew it up. I cut the yarn and then just, oops. Something happened here. Okay, there we go. All right, and then we have this yarn tail. First we're gonna sew in this tail from before. So I'm just gonna sew this in real quick, weave it in. Alright, so I weave that in, and then we're basically going to turn it wrong side out, and I'm going to just whip stitch along the edge, and that's it. Super simple. So I'm going to just go through both V's here, and it's like going under both V's. See the V's here. There's two V's here, and then there's two V's here. And I just go through both. Go under both. And just gonna go across and do that. Right. And that, and then this and this. Oops. And then I'm just gonna make sure I've gone through both edges here, and then I'm just gonna weave this through the back. Alright, that's it, and then you just cut the yarn, and we're just gonna turn it right side out, and this is what the cup cozy looks like. Absolutely beautiful, very textured, works up quickly. It'll be a great item for market prep if you're prepping for markets, and also for gifting if you're looking for quick gifts to make. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions, if you need any help with any of the other, if any of the sections that we worked on. Here, again, as I said, it's just shorter and it's going to be open. We're going to have a 1-inch button on one side, and we're just going to chain a few to make a button loop. And that's it. Super simple. I hope you liked it. I have the written pattern again on my blog. You can purchase a PDF if you'd like. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you liked the tutorial.